Hey dudes and dudettes, Mr. Theorist here and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. If you are new to this, for some reason you decided to join us on the season finale, welcome. For those of you that have seen the other episodes, welcome back. We'll give you a small explanation of what we do here. This is a review of season 11 of Doctor Who, and this is season finale. The way these episodes work is I talk about the plot, then I let Stacey talk for a bit, and she gives us her thoughts on how she felt about the episode. I then give you my thoughts, and then we go back and forth a bit to basically just talk about things we liked, and then at the end of the episode we give it a rating, because why not? So let's get on with it. To start with, Stacey, what's the title of the episode?
Okay, it's the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos.
That one?
It's the name of a planet.
Yeah. The Battle of somewhere, I'll call it, because I find it difficult to say the title.
The Battle of Souls or something like that.
Yeah, it translates to Devourer of Souls or something along the lines. It's really eerie and ominous. Yeah. So, let's get on with the plot. So, the way this episode works is it starts off with these two people, clearly aliens because they've got weird markings on their face. Lets you know they're aliens. And they have come here, they talk like they're part of some sort of faith, and they're on some sort of pilgrimage. The older one tells the younger one to begin, and his eyes start glowing, and he does, we're assuming, some sort of psychic power, and he starts building something. But before he can build it, a weird sound is heard. The older one turns around, and there's this silhouette of someone phasing into existence, curled over, and she's like, oh my god. And then it ends, and we go to Doctor and Co, who are in the TARDIS, and the Doctor tells them that there's a distress signal coming from this planet. That there's 9, is it 9 or 7? It's 9 or, I can't remember if it's 7 or 9.
I can't remember.
A certain amount of distress signals, each coming from a specific location. And Graham's like, do we have to answer? And the Doctor's like, no we don't. Everyone else has passed by though, so should we? So obviously they go, because it's Doctor and the heroic gang. They go to the planet, and they find a guy there who points a gun at the Doctor. The Doctor doesn't like this, but he's not a threat. The Doctor can tell because he's very disorientated. And she's explaining to the group that there's something wrong with this planet that messes with people's heads. So she's giving each of them this like little bit of plastic to stick on their heads that kind of stops the planet from screwing with their minds. But clearly it's screwed with this guy's mind, and he can't remember who anyone or even he is. The Doctor gives him one of these plastic things, sticks on his head, and he begins to remember things. They start rooting around his ship, and they find that a screen, and then the screen activates, and they find out that in fact there's the woman from earlier. She's telling the captain to return the item. We don't know what the item is. And then as she says this, another voice comes on, and people who have watched this season so far will recognise it's the alien voice from the first episode of this season. I'll come back to it in a bit. And the whole gang recognises his voice instantly. They're like, no way, it can't be. And then his face comes on screen, and they're like, what? And he tells him, return the item. Cuts off the signal. The Doctor asks the guy, what is it that he's asking for? And it's this weird crystal with something moving inside of it. And Graham and Ryan and Yaz are talking among themselves about, it can't be him, can it? It can't be. How could he still be alive? Because we know that from the moment the alien people were on the planet trying to build something, and this thing coming to them, and Doctor and Co turning up, it was like, was it 3,000 or 2,000? It was like 3,000 or 2,000.
Over 2,000.
It was like 2,607.
Yeah, there was definitely a 7 at the end of it.
And yeah, because we'll come to that at the end, near the end of the episode. And so it's been a really long time, and but they haven't seen the alien in a while, and they assume the alien had died. The episode plays along. The group decide that they're going to rescue, because they find out that the alien from the first episode Have you written down what the alien species is called?
Orcs or something like
No,
that.
no, the baddie alien.
Oh.
Strax. Is it Strax?
Something like that.
Scourge?
Sorry, I don't know.
Something like that. Anyway, that the captain was there and his crew's been stolen. So their mission is to go and rescue the group. So they all get their gear and they head towards the direction of where the alien person's ship is, which is some weird hovering thing in just above the ground. Graham pulls the doctor to the side though and goes, "Doc, I need to talk to you privately. I know you don't agree with this, but when we see this alien, I'm going to kill him." And the doctor goes, "Graham, I cannot have you travel with me if this is what you do. You cannot do this. You are better." And he's like, "I don't care. He killed her. I'm going to kill him." Because obviously the alien killed Graham's wife, Ryan's grandma. Name is Grace. For some reason I've got a V in my head, beginning with V, and I don't know why. It's Grace, it's a G. Anyway, so Graham's now determined that he's going to find the alien, he's going to kill him. Doc gives everyone missions, because we know how the formula works for an episode, is the doctor tells the group to split up and go do their objectives for the episode. Graham and Ryan are told to go rescue people. Yaz goes with the captain to find the power source of this weird floating device, and the doctor's going to confront the alien. So they're each going in their own separate directions. So we find out that the aliens who the evil alien is now controlling, he is convinced them that he is their god, and that he is the creator of this of everything that they believe in. And that's why they're working for him, and they've built something. We're not quite sure what it is at this point. Ryan tells Graham, "I know what you're planning," and he's like, "No, you don't." "Yes, I do. I know what you're planning, because I pretty much can think the same thing." And Yaz and the doctor's gone to talk to the alien. The alien's hooked up to massive, artificial lungs. They're just massive air pumps that he's connected to, because he's dying. And he explains that he was the weird alien that the Uks saw. The Uks are the name of the alien species. Saw at the beginning of the episode when they started to build this shrine. The thing they were building, and turned out the thing they're building is the thing that I'm assuming it's similar to the thing they were in now. At the beginning of the episode, because they call it the shrine. It's the shrine to the creator. And the doc's like, "Okay, what is this though?" And he's like, "Oh, it's basically a giant weapon." And we find that Yaz and the captain has found 4 other versions of this crystal with a thing inside. And we find out the crystals with the thing inside are planets. And he used the weapon to destroy the planets and turn them into these weird crystal capsules. And he's basically wiped out all life on the planet. And the doctor's like, you are mental, mate. Mental. Graham and Ryan are starting to rescue the hostages, but the robots from the 3rd or 4th episode, I can't remember which one it was, the killer robot thingies, they were in another episode, the one where they went to a planet with the evil rags.
Oh, the second one.
Was it the second? It wasn't the second episode. I'm pretty sure it was like the 3rd episode, at least, because I'm pretty sure there's a gap between the alien and then the aliens again. 2nd or 3rd episode, it's something like that. So they're trying to hold them off now, so that's what they're stuck doing. The doctor's now run off because she's understood that, oh my god, this shrine is going to destroy. They find out that the next planet that the alien is targeting is Earth, because that's where all of his plans derailed of trying to conquer his own species. It's where the Doctor, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham, and Grace all defeated him. So he's like, okay, I'm going to target Earth. And we see the beam activate, and it activates by the Uks using their telepathic minds to create like some sort of link, which instead of them creating matter, it's turned the shrine has amplified their powers, making it so they can destroy planets. I'm assuming that's kind of how the logistics work. We're not fully explained to it. So the Doctor is racing there to try and stop it. the alien realizes what's happening and he goes off to stop Graham from rescuing the rest of the hostages. The Doctor finds out that, okay, well, you take these plastic things off, since they're blocking the planet from screwing with us, maybe we can reverse it so it then blocks the Ux's power, stops the Ux from using the weapon, but then she decides to reactivate the Ux, connecting the Ux to the TARDIS, and using the planetary device themselves, all this tech together to basically re-energize the planets that have been turned into crystals. So while the Doctor's doing that, the alien has gone to Graham, and he's like, hey, you. Graham's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. And he's like, no you won't. No I'm not. It's like, good on you, Graham. And then Ryan's helped the captain get all the hostages out of there, while the alien was heading towards Graham. But Ryan's like worried because Graham hasn't returned, goes back to Graham, points the gun and is like, hey, he's my granddad. And it looks like the alien is going to then go after Ryan. Graham pulls his gun but then shoots the alien's feet instead of shooting him in the chest, killing him. And Ryan's like, the Doctor wouldn't like that. Hey, I shot his feet. I didn't kill him, I just shot his feet. It's like, oh, okay, that's fair enough. The Doctor manages with the Ux to return all the planets back to normal. Earth is also saved. Everything is fine. Graham and Ryan have locked the alien in one of the stasis pods that the hostages was in, and just as they activate his stasis pod, so he's going to be stuck there forever, they turn around and say to him, when you lie here for millennia, there's one word we want you to think. And they look at each other and say, grace. And then he gets frozen. The Doctor has saved the day. The Ux have gone off with the captain because they've decided that they need to, their faith needs to evolve. Instead of them not understanding the universe like their faith tells them to, the younger one says, no, in order for our faith to grow, we must understand the universe. And the Doctor has some nice farewell line of like, you'll be surprised, the universe always surprises you. And that is where our episode ends. There's a lot there. I've missed some stuff out, but that's the main gist of the plot. Stacey, what did you think of the episode?
I really, really enjoyed it. I think it was a really good episode. It had lots of links to previous episodes. Obviously, Graham having to deal with the emotional issue of the fact he wants to avenge his wife, and at the same time he's an honest person and he tells the Doctor his plans, and he's knowing that the Doctor will want to stop him, so he is conflicted. And also there's a lot of bonding between Graham and Ryan, and the alien coming back. Well, you kind of guess that that would possibly happen. Yeah. And I liked how in this episode it was spiritual aliens that the Doctor really had a high opinion of, that were being used for evil and corrupted, committing genocide, and that is a big contrast to the other episode, the Demons in the Punjab, where the warlike aliens become peaceful and watching the dead die.
I didn't notice that. That is, yes. That's a cool contrast. I never thought of that. That's quite cool.
That was the thing I needed to look up the name of the episode. But really, I think it was a beautiful episode. I really liked it, and I liked the idea of the Ux and the fact that this ancient race, and they've been going for millennia, and then at the end they're evolving, which is nice. And the fact that Graham doesn't kill. At one point I thought he was going to actually sacrifice himself because of the fact to get over the conflict of whether he should kill or not. When he was saying, oh, I'm going to detonate something.
It screamed classic, I'm going to sacrifice myself now, Ryan, go live a good life kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't have any criticism of this episode. So yeah, I just thought it was really good.
Cool. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. It was a good, solid ending to this season. This season hasn't been as action-packed as some other seasons of Who, which has worked in its advantage and disadvantage at times. I said I would hold off my opinion properly of the Doctor until the final episode. God damn, I think Jodie Whittaker is fantastic as the Doctor. Anyone that thinks, no, she's good. Like, I've grown to like her very quickly. Capaldi took me all of the first season before I was like, Whittaker, by halfway through, I was like, yeah, I like Whittaker. Sometimes I feel that she's not very doctory, but then other times she's like, it's very doctory. And she's got her own style of the Doctor down to a T now, and I look forward to more seasons of her. I do not want the New Year's Day special to be her regeneration story. I will be really annoyed if they regenerate her within this season. As far as this episode is concerned, yes, good, solid. I called it. If you guys remember, several episodes ago, I won't say it for too long, I called that this alien was going to come back and was the season arc thing that was going to happen. And the Doctor was the reason why things were going squiffy with him. Like, the reason he had the alien... we know his species were warriors anyway, but like, he created a massive death weapon on this planet and corrupted an entire faith, which would consist of 2 people. For like them, they are immortals essentially. They have this purest faith, and he corrupted it. Why? Because he wanted to get back at the Doctor. Called it. Freaking called it. So those of you that aren't subscribed and you've been with us since the beginning of this series of videos, hit that subscribe button. Hit it! Right? I told you. I did tell you. Anyway. So, the alien, classic, very Darth Vader, Kylo Ren-ish, the way that he's curled in on himself and he's got his cape and he's got his mask and everything. And I will kill you, I will have my revenge. Typical, like, villain of Doctor Who. I almost thought at the end of the episode where he was put in stasis that the gang weren't going to realise that he got out and maybe he was going to be the new Daleks / Cybermen / Master villain. Like, he was going to be the recurring villain for Whittaker's arc. That's what I thought, but he stayed frozen, so probably not. Again, I called it with the fist bump. End of the season, they were going to fist bump. Ryan and Graham, they did. But these are all things that if you're like kind of looking for it, you're like, yeah, that's going to happen and that's going to happen. So it kind of played some of the beats that I knew were going to play out. That's more like I reckon they were going to happen, so I wasn't surprised by those things. But it was nice to see arcs finish. I think personally Yaz didn't do a lot this episode.
She didn't.
Which is a shame because she's had some really good episodes this season. And it did feel very much that she was put in the background a bit. She was there helping the captain person out for a bit, but that was really it. And then Yaz has this really weird thing where her and the Doctor are way in tune. It's like when the Doctor thought about turning the powers of the Hooks off, she was like, mind blockers! Like, that's something the Doctor's mind jumps to. Yaz jumped to it at the same point. I was like, I feel that's just giving Yaz a line there. That, to me, that felt like kind of like giving Yaz a line. Because she didn't have many this episode. And then she's had it before where she's been on the same wavelength to the Doctor. Maybe it will play into something. Maybe the writers are secretly hinting at the fact that Yaz is actually Gallifreyan. I don't think so. I think it's just kind of silly writing. What else about this episode? It was wrapped up nice and neat. I said last episode that I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a 2-parter. I feel that the weight of, oh my god, the alien is back, would have been so much cooler if we had like a mini, like the first, like last episode was part of this episode, and we had kind of a, like, we spent the whole episode like trying to figure out what happened on this planet, and why was there a war here, maybe delve into that element a bit more. And then right at the end of the episode they put up a screen and the captain finally remembers, and you imagine like just as he goes to say the alien's name, the alien's face pops up and says, I recognise you. and then have the episode. And imagine how cool that would have been. Like, have the episode end there, and everyone was just like, no. Dun, 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 dun. No, not EastEnders. Doctor Who. So that would have been cool, but every episode was its own individual thing.
I did like the last one.
Was cool. Yeah, we were good. What was the last one again?
It was the.
Oh, it was the Weird Universe one, wasn't it? It was
Maybe
nice.
They could have just done an extra episode of Doctor Who, so they could have a two at the end.
Yeah, they could have done like one more episode. Because I don't know why they've stopped it this week. Because there's another like 2 weeks till Christmas, 3 weeks.
Why
Yeah, 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks till Christmas. Why not have it end just before Christmas, and instead of doing this weird New Year's Day special, do a Christmas special? You don't miss a week.
And also, having Christmas without Doctor Who.
Yeah, this year's going to be weird. No Doctor Who at Christmas. We've said that before, but it is going to be a weird thing. So yeah, overall, I like this episode. I don't think it's been the best episode this season, though. I still think Rosa is probably the best all over episode. Like there's Kablam Man was a damn good episode. Witchfinders.
Kablam Man was one of my favourite ones.
Yeah.
And also Demons of the Punjab.
Yeah, there's been some good solid episodes. I think overall as a complete episode of everyone gets to do stuff and like everyone felt included and stuff. I feel Rosa was my favourite and probably my most like emotionally felt episode. For a season finale, I enjoyed it, but I didn't really feel too much from this episode, which I'm a bit disappointed with. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel. Have you got anything more to add?
I really enjoyed it. I suppose, yeah, I think last series season finale was more exciting. I think this was a really well written episode and had a lot in it.
It didn't feel like a season finale though. Really didn't feel like a season finale. It was just an episode where the alien returned and they defeated the alien.
What do you think out of 10?
I want to say quite the day though.
Okay.
I will say this episode had one thing in it that was just the best. Graham and Ryan talking to each other, and when Ryan's telling Graham, "You know what you're gonna do, right? This isn't what Grandma would have wanted," and the line was something like, "What your grandma would have wanted was to be alive. Your gran was good at being alive. I know she enjoyed being alive." It was said in a way by
Graham.
I can't remember Graham's actor's name, but just the way he delivered that line, I was in stitches for a bit. That was a beautiful line. It was meant to be such a heartfelt line, but the way he said it was. It's made me giggle. So yeah, rating out of 10. Last episode I rated as an 8, didn't we? Or was it a 7? I can't remember the last episode.
I can't remember.
But this is a 7 for me. It's better than par, which is usually about a 5, is what I give a par. It's not a 6, it's better than that. But it was alright. Which is annoying for season finale. It was alright. So 7 out of 10.
I really enjoyed it. I think 8.
Yeah. You enjoyed it a lot more than I did. I enjoyed it. I was entertained, but I feel that you have to, when you give it a rating, it's also about where it stands as the series goes. Like season opening, you have to be a bit harsh than all the filler episodes, and then the same with the season finale.
I think if it wasn't a filler, if it was a filler episode, I would have rated it higher than an 8.
I would have probably given it an 8 if it was a filler, but it was our season finale. It was our bye-bye for about 3 weeks from Who, and I'm like, okay, I want more Who. That didn't feel like a finale to tie me over for a bit. It was just, yeah, it was an episode.
Don't we usually get more than 10 episodes per series?
Usually there's a higher budget for Doctor Who as well. as I said, like, yeah, I heard there's a lower budget. I don't know how low of a budget it is, but we should be seeing some other shows next year. That is the reason why the budget is lower for Doctor Who. And you could tell, like, they were very... None of the planets were very alien-y. There were almost very human, every single one. Which worked, which to be fair, the stories they told, it was good and solid to their advantage. But anyway, I'm now going off on tangents. Well, we should be ending this episode. So, 7 from me, 8 from Stacey. And that is all 10 episodes of Doctor Who Season 11. Even though we're getting the special. I'm guessing specials aren't classed as part of the season. Okay. Unless... No, it's just a special, isn't it? They don't really class them. So yeah, that is what we thought, guys. What did you guys think? Leave a comment down below. And if you've liked this video, guys, please hit that like button. If you are people who have watched this since we did the first episode, that I can't remember the name of the first episode now, this season. But if you've been here since the beginning, I hope you've enjoyed this journey. For all of you that watched the episode where I made the bet that if I was right you must subscribe, then I know this was a deal that went one way because you guys can't respond to me like this and we can't shake on it, but the deal was struck, so please hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, me, maybe Stacey will be back, depends what I do next, but I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Bye!